Hey everybody, we haven't seen you guys in a while. We've been taking some classes on welding and some classes on woodworking so we can get a little tighter with our measuring and learning some of this building stuff a little bit better than what we know. So what I'm working on today is our basement. As you can see, we got our basement dug. It's not a big basement, but it's a basement. It'll mostly be a food cellar and just extra space, extra storage, things of that nature. So what I'm doing right now is I'm leveling the wood, and then I'm just kind of smoothing out the ground, and then after that we're going to put rebar in our corners to start tying our rebar across. Then we're going to run rebar vertical that'll go over, well, the cement block will go over the rebar to keep it from caving in. As you can see though, our moisture line pretty much stops here. From here down, you don't really get any water down this deep out here. So we're going to still put a water barrier over it, just in case things change out here. But just giving you a little update to see where we finally got this thing squared out at the top. So that was definitely an agenda and a task.
Yes, it was.
Get that done. We had to go to the drawing board 3 times on that before we got it right.
Literally.
Yeah. So now, like I said, what we're doing now is we're just going to level the wood, level the frame out, so when we pour the cement will be level to the edge of the wood framing, which will make the floor level when we get to that point, which is the next step. So we just wanted to give you guys a little short, quick update snippet. We haven't been doing much in the form of videoing, so that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Talk to you soon. Be free. You didn't get my crack, did you?
No, I don't think so.
Alright. Well, we basically got our basement ready to pour our cement. So once we pour this, we'll be pouring our foundations for the pillars for the containers at the same time. So pretty much this is done.
So explain what we actually did, babe.
Okay, so what we did is, first thing, we had to get this dug. So no, I did not dig this by hand.
Yeah, you did.
No, those I did, this I did. Alright, so once we got it all dug out, we did have to get in here by hand and level it and square it off. Okay, so what we did is we've made it so we got a 10-foot by 10-foot space. We got a little extra space over there, so as we're floating it, we got a space by which we could climb out of here after we float it off and get the edges done. But then what we did was we made sure it's square. Key thing in building, if you're a novice like I am, please understand what is squaring. Understand your measurements. What I will say is I got way more respect for people who do this kind of work now.
I know, that's right.
Considering that I just sat behind the computer for 18 years. But make sure you understand squaring. Make sure you understand the math of your measurements, okay? If your measurements are off, your whole thing will come out jacked up, all right? So once we got this squared, we leveled it, we hand brought in a bunch of sand and crushed gravel. Basically, we just tossed it in here. My wife got in here with a board and leveled the gravel out. What you do is you level your wood. So when you pour your cement will come to the top of the wood, which is basically 4 inches, 3 1/4 if you use store-bought lumber. If you get it from a lumber mill, it's really 2x4s. I learned that. But anyway, the width of the board is going to be the width or depth of the cement. So you get your board level, and then you put your rock up under, your gravel, your sand up under it to make sure it doesn't move. You get it stabilized. We backfilled it so that the weight of the cement can't move the square framing. I'm going to put a couple of re-rods like this on the outside. These re-rods are sticking here, they're going to be sticking up higher than the cement. So when we start the cement block on top of the cement slab, that's where we'll start the cement block from. What I'm going to do is add a couple of more pieces, about 2 or 3 more. So what that'll do is as we build this block wall up, we'll we'll have re-rod in the block wall, which will prevent a wall from collapsing on you or falling in or caving in. So after we did that, we came in, we wire wheeled most of our re-rod up, make sure we don't have too much rust on it. We tamped it, tried to get it as level as we can, as tight as we can with the sand. From this point, we put some rocks up under so that it will set up inside the cement. You want to make sure that it doesn't come up higher than the wood edge, because that's what you're going to be using to kind of scrape to or kind of float to. That's pretty much it, I guess. You know, it's just another task and the step to getting this house built.
Yep, that's the truth.
So once this is poured and once those foundations are poured, we'll be just about at the halfway mark. Because once they're doing our water well, hopefully this month, that'll be about the halfway mark, the water well and the septic. After that, we just run the pipes and wires and drywall, and you'll see.
All the fun stuff.
You'll see.
It looks good.
Okay.
Looks like a basement. Cool. Alright.
Okay, so what we're doing today is we're making some subsidiary foundations for the shipping container edge. If you look along the shipping container, there's a little lip that rides along the container. Now all the weight on a shipping container is built into the corners. That's how they stack them up on top of each other. So the corners is what holds the weight. So what we're doing here is we're just laying a foundation that we can put block on and bring the block up to the edge of that lip right before we set it, so that it'll ensure the shipping container doesn't bow, flex, bounce. It's just going to be like a foundation here to keep this part so that it can't move. But all your weight is on your corners, so this middle piece here will just make sure that the center of the shipping container can't bow or flex. That makes sense. So what we did is we went about 6 inches down into the ground, laid a foundation to get them level, and what we're going to do now is fill them with some cement just to create a level foundation, so when we do put the block on it, it'll be a starting point of levelness. And then the reason why we did it this way is because we didn't want to run a risk of having it just this much too short. Then it's a waste of time and energy, because now the shipping container edge never makes it. If it's too big, it can make it teeter-totter where it's not level. So because we didn't want to deal with that risk, we came up with this plan, which we're going to build it up, and then right before we put the shipping container, we'll put our last block so that we can use the mortar to either add or subtract how much space we need so we can hit it a bullseye. Okay? So that's where we are, trying to get this foundation finished. So, not sure if my wife is going to mix this in with the foundation pour, or if this is going to be a video prior to the foundation pour. I don't know, but either way, it's been a lot.
Yes, it has.
You can show them our finished basement.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got to see that.
Yeah, they did.
Watch out, Kay.
But I'll show it again.
Move.
So we have the foundation all ready for cement. So when we get this poured, we'll get all the pillars poured at the same time with cement. So everything will get poured at the same time. But we have got the foundation for the basement all set and ready to rock and roll. And now it looks something like a basement. This foundation is the hardest thing ever in life.
I don't know, that fence is pretty damn hard.
Yeah, that fence wasn't no joke.
This foundation is a lot. Man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't know which one's worse.
I know, right? I think this one is a lot on your brain, and the fence was a lot on your body.
Yeah. Make sure your math skills and your geometry skills you done tightened up before you start this.
Ooh, wee, for real, because you gotta go all the way back to basic geometry. Lord have mercy. The subject I hated the most.
Yes, you do.
Alright guys, so just wanted to show you this step of our foundation process. So the next one you will see from us is when we're actually getting the cement poured. So next time, be free.
Peace.